Hello humans, Master Dinnerflex here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve, and as you can tell, voice is still pretty fucked, but not only can I say that in the first 7 seconds cause YouTube yay, but also been pretty sick. I had to pretty much not do videos for a full week, so I did technically skip a week, but it's whatever, I did 2 last week. But yeah, it was just bad, and so I'm gonna get back into the groove pretty much all the way better, and rather than do the Unchained one, and that I'll do that later, as well as those unban-worthy banned cards. I do want to do a video on that as well, and kind of go in depth on why pretty much all 10 of those cards are just crap and won't do anything ever. But for this video, I actually wanted to do Lunalights. Probably one, if not my favorite combo decks of all time. Basically, what's really interesting about it is the way it's designed, or the way, like, the XE version, which is what it is, it's so reminiscent of old Infurrity, where you just plop your level 4s on board and just call it a day, just summon, spam, abuse non-hard ones per turns to the best of your ability, and that's what Lunalight is. And what's really interesting about Lunalight is it's never been the best deck. It is always the offshoot rogue deck. So even when it was good, it was like good with a 10-foot pole. But there's like so many things you can do with this engine. It's like very unique, and it really rewards what I like in combo decks. Throwing stuff at your opponent first before you commit to real plays, which I don't think gets appreciated enough when it comes to combo decks, because we like to judge combo decks based on how well they play in hand traps, but like going second has such a big skill judging scenario with combo decks a lot of the time that I don't think gets appreciated, and this one's actually really cool at it because rank 4s have such really insane going second tools, so you can do a lot of stuff before you try to play. But for the deck, we got 3 Kaleido Chick, 2 Yellow Marten, 1 Tiger, 1 Emerald Bird. So Emerald Bird can also be White Rabbit, or you can just play White Rabbit independently as well. But Emerald Bird can recycle a banished Tiger if it gets hit off of like a runic spell. You're gonna see a bunch of jump cuts from coughing, but it can get back Tiger that way. It can get back if you pop it, or it gets popped. You can Kaleido Send it, and it can also revive from graveyard. Not to mention Emerald Bird is good with Dark Refer, which I also play with Foolish Burial. So it's just all around pretty decent, but I wouldn't do just 6 of them, because it basically is a statement that you don't believe Tiger will ever get interacted with, which is just not true at all. Like, one of the cool things about White Rabbit is if this gets banished face down, consider it gone. But White Rabbit is a really weird way to basically still play the deck, just at a much lower power level, where instead White Rabbit is a normal summon that is Tiger, and you'll just bounce a White Rabbit with Marten, which is much worse, but it's still something. So keep that in mind. But that's it for the Lunalights, and that's also why I call this deck Infurrity, which is a very funny name, because basically it's just like a small compact engine of level 4s that keep cycling themselves, so you can get to really broken combo enablers, which is what Infurrity was. So this is Infurrity. Next, I am, of course, doing a dragon package. Dark Worm and Gate 0 allow you to get beyond the Pendulum to search Tiger. So you have, with this, like, any way to send a dragon to your graveyard, which is 1,001 cards, can get you beyond the Pendulum, which gets you Tiger, which, like, if you open, like, Foolish or any one of the Foolish substitutes in this, is, like, full combo and then some. It's really nice. And then for the rest of the dragons, because if I don't play more dragons, I'm basically playing, like, a bunch of Foolishes for exactly this card, and that's not very efficient. So I'm also doing Router into basically two rockets. Rocket Caliber is like good on its own because outside of Apollosa, you only play 3 links and both of them are dark. So this can just be a level 4 that summons to one of those zones. Rocket Tracer, it's kind of a shitty normal summon outside of Quick Launch, but you can do stuff with it. And then Router, it's meant to be another one of those foolish targets to get like Caliber for an extra level 4 and whatnot. But yeah, you can do cool stuff with it. I'm not playing Savage in this list, but both of these are actually tuners, so you can make Borload Savage Dragon in some combos if you wanted to. But yeah, that's it for the dragons. Next for the birds, we are actually doing the rank up package, so we got a lot of birds. Raider's Wing, Strangulanius, Singing Lanius, and Zephyros the Elite. Yeah, there's a lot of birds, and yeah, the rank up spell is kind of mid if you can't play. But if you can play, it's good to draw, even if you just get smacked over. But the reason I'm doing all the birds is because what I mentioned with Tiger earlier, if you're not careful with how you build Lunalights, if something happens to Tiger that makes it truly inaccessible, your entire deck list doesn't work. And there's no skirting around it, there's no avoiding it. Your deck list won't work. But the thing about the bird package is the bird package is entirely a play as long as you can establish 3 level 4s, and you don't need Tiger to put 3 level 4s on board. So you like have an actual valid extra deck play if Tiger is gone, which if you only play a handful of birds, that's actually not the case at all, which is why I decided I want to do all of them. Yay. That's it for the birds, and for the final 2 monsters, Dark Repher. Dark Repher is he's a man. Look at those muscles. He's a big man. He makes big plays. You got multiple big level monsters that are actually relevant for this level for Dark Repher, but I didn't want to add Rhoda and Armageddon Knight because Armageddon Knight is so much worse than Dark Repher in this deck, because this can be a special summon. This can enable plays like if you draw a Lunalight and Dark Repher because of Emerald Bird. This like can do a lot, whereas Armageddon Knight does functionally nothing 99% of the time. And I didn't want to play a Rhoda for 1 target. That's stupid. So that's it. And then finally, this is just a random spot. This can literally be anything you want it to be. I'm playing this because it's a level 4. There's like a good 3 to 4 cards you can count to play actual valid going second cards, but I wanted to show like a demo a combo balls of the wall deck list, and then you can obviously make changes from that accordingly. So that's it for the monsters. 18 for the spells, 3 perfume, 3 quick launch, which this is basically also a rank 4, except it has to be dark when you summon Tracer, which is fine because some of the dark rank 4s are broke as fuck. So that doesn't matter. And if you just need it to be a level 4, it's also that. Then 2 Dragon Shrine, 2 Dragon Ravine. Both of these have their ups and downs. The up is this, is you don't have to discard 1 card. And the up of this is you get to discard 1 card, which is, yeah, that's a little weird of a statement. But that's why there's like 2 of each. Like, if you draw a Serenade, Dance, or a Perfume that's not live, you obviously want Dragon Ravine over that. But if you have every card in your hand wants to be good, then obviously Dragon Shrine is better. And because it'll be a toss-up of either, might as well just play 2 of each. Tenki, it's Tenki. It searches Beast Warriors. Its effect is when this card is activated, you can add 1 level 4 or lower Beast Warrior type monster from your deck to your hand, and then all your Beast Warriors gain 100 attack, which is insane. That is so an effect. It's actually funny that we have this pack at 3. It just turns out most of the Rhoda cards don't actually need to be hit at all, because 90% of the time it's just like when the Beast Warrior decks are good, it's because the Beast Warriors. It's not actually that it is like a mid consistency hit, because in and of itself it's a hard once per turn and you don't really care. Like, this card going from 2 to 1 doesn't matter. So I don't know that they ever need to hit that card outside of like actual Fire Fist taking off one day, which I doubt will happen. Then we got triple goods to dump Perfume and Serenade Dance. One foolish regular because he's like the fourth wheel in this, like, whatever that's called. Oh, threesome, that's the word. Right? And then the rank up spell, which is, I don't know why people hate this, or you like call it, awful dead brick. Like, if you make Force Tricks once, it's live, because the second it goes to graveyard, you can just revive it with this, and like, you literally have to not play for this to be a brick, and if you don't play, this card can't get you out, because it's stuff like auto wins, like D-Bear or whatnot, and if that's the case, this couldn't have been anything that makes it relevant, so I don't know why people call that a brick. And then 3 Shade Brigadines, it's a level 4. It's also a level 4 trap for, what's his name? The guy who steals time. And then Serenade Dance is the last card. It is a really cool trap strategy of 4 monsters as my trap cards. And then for the extra deck, Beyond the Pendulum. Let's go. This card is how you search Tiger from your extra deck, which is nice. And then we got Wise Tricks, Apollosa as the only not Xyz in this extra deck, which is a concern when it comes to D-Barrier. But I've considered siding just 1001 extra deck monsters. So one of the things about this deck is there's not really main deck space to side that many cards. But it's not the case when it comes to the extra deck, because the extra deck is like it's 15 combo cards that can only matter going first a lot of the time. If that's the case, when I'm side decking, I'd rather just side like 3 or 4 go second extra deck monsters, and then like cut the main deck cards that were relevant to that. Then you get like an actual serious side strategy. I do think Yu-Gi-Oh players undervalue the idea of siding extra deck monsters. We should probably just do it more, truthfully. But like, D-Barrier would be one of the only calls why. And we got Tolmaeus, Nova, Infinity. Yes, I know it's not 2016 anymore, or really 2015, when Dueling Network let you do that. But what I've noticed is, oh my god, it just doesn't matter. So this deck just spams level 4s all the time. It can easily establish 3 level 4s before it actually commits to a real play if it wants to. And if I'm doing that, I'm going to summon a negate to negate your Nibiru. And then on summon 5, you hit Nova, congratulations, I'll just play my deck normally. So that doesn't matter. Baguska as a going second option, you just throw it into a bunch of floodgates and it slows the game down for you to amass an absurd amount of advantage, which is fine. Evil Swarm Nightmare, go first option, really cool. This is honestly one of my favorite rank 4s of all time. Not my favorite, that goes to Douglas, but this card is actually so cool. And it's so old and good, which is what I like when it comes to some extra deck monsters. Some have stood the test of time, and Nightmare is absolutely one of them. And then Redoer, solid, especially when you put the Shade Brigadier under it. Going second, you just get to spin something. And then for the bird combo, we got 2 Force Tricks, pretty good. Tiger King as a go second option, plus a way to recruit into Tinky. This for the bird combo, Norito. And the reason it's Norito specifically is because it's like the only rank 6 besides Infinity that can negate spells and traps. But I don't want to put 2 Infinities in here for that, so I'll just do Norito. You also won't you won't be able to do that with the new Evolzar coming out either, because that requires 2 materials for its activation. So it will probably stay Norito even after that card comes out. Then finally, the most powerful extra deck monsters in this extra deck, Raiders Knight and Arc Rebellion XE Dragon. So I'm going to be totally honest. If you play a dark deck that just has access to a bunch of level 4s, this is like something so absurdly good to just go into. It is absurd. I already said that. Basically, you can just throw cards at your opponent all day and night, and then you establish the last 2 dark level 4s into this and just attack for game, and it's just that easy. It's just so ridiculous. These 2 are absurd, and this is kind of what I mean when I was saying, like, siding extra deck monsters, because this is one extra deck monster. This is ultimately one extra deck monster, because it's fundamentally dependent on one play, except you can argue this isn't, or these 2 are not. So these 2 fundamentally only exist for one play. These 3 exist for one play. These 4 like have function past that, and this is good for going second. So basically you have like 5 extra deck cards you can just side out whenever, however, for going second. And if you're going to do that, that's like, not only does that free up the rank up spell in your main deck, as well as a few other cards, that's like 5 going second XCs you can replace instead of these for like Zeus, Exciton, etc., Diamond Dyer, Castrel, whoever. That's the point that matters. Which is why I really like the idea of siding extra deck monsters in this. And I don't really have an established side deck, or not one that matters. It's basically like 9 to 10 go second cards plus 5 extra deck monsters that allow you to go second, basically. Because this deck does not need help going first if it combos. That you can't dumb it down any further than that. Just how it goes. But yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to do a quick combo with this, actually. So I'm going to stop the recording here before I cough my lungs out. Let's go ahead and shuffle up. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This hand is full combo, despite the fact, actually, it's full combo a lot more than it might seem to be, because you can see the Foolish Thinking and think that's full combo. No, it's actually full combo based on the shrine. So let's go ahead, start off with the shrine. We are going to go ahead and dump Supreme King, which will summon itself and search the donut. So that is in our hand. Next, we are going to establish Tinky. And with Tinky, of course, we are going to add Kaleido-Chick right here. Then we are going to normal summon that Kaleido-Chick, and with Kaleido-Chick, we are going to dump Yellow Martin for cost. Pretty normal so far. Let's get this moved in a better situation. Now, we are going to link these 2. This will be in our extra deck, and we are going to turn it into Beyond the Pendulum. And Beyond the Pendulum, we will pay 1,200, and we get to search any Pendulum monster from our deck to our hand, so we will add Tiger. Now, we will set the Tiger and Donut in scale, and we will Pendulum Summon. We have another level 4 we can Pendulum Summon, and then the Dark Worm. So now we have access to the rest of our effects, and we will turn these 2 level 4s into Force Tricks. We will detach either one of them, and we will search a bird. And the bird we want to search here needs to have the ability to special summon itself. So we will go for Singulanius, which of course will then summon itself. Because we've already used our normal summon, it needs to be able to special summon itself. Then we will link the 2 birds into Wise Tricks. Wise Tricks, this time, whatever you summon with Wise Tricks, it needs to be a floater, whether it be Raider's Wing or Zephyros the Elite. And because we have Foolish Goods in hand, it doesn't matter which is which. But now, we have not used Tiger yet, so we are going to use Tiger in the scale effect to summon Chick. Chick will go ahead and dump another copy of Yellow Martin. Now, we will overlay those two birds, even though one is not a bird, into another Force Tricks. This time we will detach the Raider's Wing, and we will search Zephyros the Elite. And of course, the Wise Tricks will trigger from that, and we get to go ahead and set the rank up spell, which is somewhere. There it is. There's a big clump of cards right now. But now we will go ahead and activate the Raider's Wing by detaching this. And we will link these three away and to Apollosa. So the Tiger has currently been used in scale. So now we are going to activate Foolish Burial Goods. This is still set. And we are going to dump Serenade Dance. Now we are going to activate Serenade Dance in Graveyard. Banish it, discard the Zephyros, and we get to summon another Lunalight from the deck. And we will go ahead and summon another Chick, and this Chick will go ahead and dump Emerald Bird. Next, we will use the Yellow Martin engraved to bounce this back to our hand. And we will have a Yellow Martin on board, which is nice. And now I pick up the Tiger I dropped on the ground, and we will overlay these 3 level 4s into Tomias, which will detach all materials to go into Nova, and then we'll just slap an Infinity on top of that. So, there we go. Next, we'll activate the Tiger again, go ahead and revive the Emerald Bird, and then we will bounce with this. So we have paid 1,600 so far, 1,200, then 400 for Zephyros. And then we will activate Tiger one last time to revive Martin. So we will overlay these 2 into Redoer. And with Redoer, we're going to go ahead and activate it now to detach the Emerald Bird specifically, to banish itself until the end phase. And the Emerald Bird will allow us to revive Lunalight. So we will overlay those 2 into Evil Swarm Nightmare. So we've paid the 1,200, 1,600, so we're going to pay half of our 64 life points, which is 32. And we will summon Force Tricks, which we will slap a Norito on top of that. So 3,200 life points. And then we have this. So let's see. Then during the end phase, the Redoer will come back. So at our end phase, let's see what we have. 3-mat Apo, Infinity, Norito, Evil Storm Nightmare, which is a double Book of Moon, and Redoer, which is not a bad setup, especially when you consider the Tiger is still there for follow-up. The Redoer, whether it be getting monsters or getting spells and traps, is going to give some bonus effects. Nightmare is a double Book of Moon, and Book of Moon is an FTK against multiple decks. Even if they eclipse us, which we have 2 negates for that anyways, they still got to deal with the Apollosa. And then your opponent is asked to do a lot here. And this isn't a format with Dark Ruler, so you don't have to commit to like a counter trap. So that's pretty good. And yeah, that's a basic combo. All we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, possibly 8 disruptions, which is pretty pog champ. But yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, despite the fact that it was a clusterfuck of me being sick and cuts and blah, 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 blah. But yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. And remember, Master Dinnerflex will take your soul.